that is happening with the TEA and the takeover of HISD.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I know that you've been very, very vocal on the approval of the takeover. And so I wanted to ask you, what do you, in your opinion, can you say that TEA will bring to the table that the school boards of the past could not, especially with a district so large?
Yeah, so TEA in this illustration would be compared to as the law or the FBI coming in, whereas there are no limitations. Board members, or oftentimes we are kind of like inhibited because the superintendent, to whom is our only employee, can throw up, you know, a barrier when it's time to ask questions. He can give us limited information, and then being there 16 months, oftentimes the school uh, superintendent will give us just enough, but not all. And at the same time, students are still failing. Students are still suffering. And it's because of 30 years of bad management and bad leadership at Houston Independent School District. And oftentimes I see it just like our superintendent has sometimes brought in an external source to help him with a major project, even the budget. He's used U of H. The TEA is like our last effort, you know, with to have an opportunity to improve the district overall. After all, we're number 48 ranking in the nation. I want us to at least be in the top 10. So it's time out. And I said yesterday, jovially, and I mean it, it's like he's an exterminator coming in to clean the roaches out of the house. The roaches, baby roaches, bugs, and residue that's still there. And being a trustee, I'm telling you, it's been difficult. Even though we're new and the old members are gone, we're still fractured. 3 of the old members are still there. We're divisive. I mean, we're still playing race, blacks against Hispanics, and I'm the only male there. And oftentimes when I go to the meetings, even the agenda review on Thursday, my stomach hurts. I'll be like, oh my God, not this again. So yeah, I welcome Mike Morath. I have full confidence. He's a smart man. And I have full confidence that he's going to select the right board of managers and the right superintendent to do the right thing and then hand it back over. With Mike Morath being there, they can't hide nothing because they have full authority, more, I believe, than we had. That their board of managers, we're trustees. There is a difference. There's a difference.
Do you feel that Superintendent Millard House did all he could do at the capacity he was in? I know he came in, he hasn't been in there.
Short answer, yes.
Short answer is, why?
Yes. Wait, you went away. You went
Oh,
away.
sorry. Yeah, you went away too. Sorry, I didn't hear you again.
Short answer, yes. I think he's did a wonderful job. 5-year strategic plan. He had an action. He took action. He said he was going to cut in central office. He cut 60 million. We've had some recent budget workshops. He planned on cutting 70 more million to get us out of the deficit because what I said, you're going to have to find a way to justify those positions you hired with the government funds. He showed us a way. And so we had a 210 deficit, 210 million after his new cuts. And then after more cuts, he was going to reduce that to 70 million. So yeah, he was driving the ship. And I can tell you that Commissioner Mike Morath has been pleased with Superintendent Millard House. He's fond of him. He liked his articulation. He liked where he was headed. And he loved the tough decisions that he made. But unfortunately, with a board of managers, we need a fresh perspective. And so superintendent, if you watched the last meeting, had an amendment to his contract to where he won't be terminated. So he can go anywhere in the nation and get him a great job.
what does it take to represent a district this size? What types of qualities or experience is necessary to keep this district afloat? And this is just to think future wise, because this looks like it's going to be happening. It's happening. So I know people are upset and angry about this, but as we're moving forward and whomever is sitting in these new seats, we got to think, okay, what, in your opinion, does it take for them to make sure that this district is at the top of where we want it to be?
It's going to take a business-minded person who knows how to run a Fortune 500 company. As we say, churches now are run like business. You got to have a business mind. You got to know how to handle big money, $2.3 billion. You got to know how to handle employees. The HISD has more employees in the city of Houston. So it's going to take a business mind, also a person with an educational background. I would say, for short, like an enhanced version of Dr. Terry Greer or an enhanced version of Dr. Abe Saavedra. I give you a mixture. You know, Terry's Caucasian and Abe is Hispanic. An enhanced version of someone like that, because those were two great leaders who went down in history of doing some great things for Houston Independent School District. So not just anyone can be appointed as the temporary or permanent superintendent. It takes a strong business-minded person that knows how to run a Fortune 500 company and knows how to handle $5.3 billion, keep the taxpayers in mind, the parents in mind, the children in mind. And I like what Commissioner Morath has already done. He's already scheduled 4 or 5 community meetings regarding the TEA and what they plan to do in its transition. And I also like the fact that he waited until the end of the school year, which is June 1st, is when they plan to be officially there at the board. And we're going to help them. I'm going to be there supporting them. I met Mike Morath in Fort Worth during the presentation, and I waited till he ended to make a beeline to go meet him. I said, young man, you are smart. I'm impressed by you. And not because I'm just Republican, not because I'm impressed. I like smart people. And he seems to have his head in the right place. He has the children, the heartbeat of the community. And he did not make this decision haphazardly. He thought and prayed. I know this man is a man of God. He loves Jesus like I do. I'm a pastor. He prayed about this. He met with Republicans. He met with Democrats. He met and prayed and prayed. He did not make this decision haphazardly. And like Ron Reynolds said, it wasn't already made. The man waited and prayed and came up with the best decision. And I applaud him. I really do. Because the children have suffered. I'm in there. The children have cried out. And as a preacher, if you look at Psalms chapter 8, that Psalms number 8, verse 2, it says something like, out of the mouth of babes, when they cry out, that God will defend them, that God will come. I looked at one commentary and it says, even when an infant cries in frustration before they learn how to think and talk, that God responds to them with enough power to knock the hell out of hell itself. And so God has answered the cries of his children. And so, I mean, I'm just so excited. I don't mind moving out of the way. It was hard to win my waist. I spent a lot of money, but we come to this. I knew going in, it may happen, and it's here. And I feel relief. Oh my God. I hope for the best.
Do you feel that, well, there are many people who have said that this shutdown is very politically driven. What are your thoughts on what those people are saying as far as it being like that?
My thought is a negative. It's not. And if you notice, Houston is a Democrat city mostly. And unfortunately, that's a broken record to me. I grew up as a Democrat. I switched parties in 2007 because you can. I'm in America. That's a broken record. This is not, in my opinion, racially motivated. There will be no discrimination, like Sheila Jackson Lee said. Mayor Turner needs to stop talking. I think he's just trying to get TV time for his next position. Ron Reynolds, all those people are just speaking the same old evil language, and they are misleading our African American community, and it is a shame coming from an African American. I went to Forest Brook. Forest Brook was taken over by HISD because you had leaders giving contracts to their family members, giving them money. So many of them went to prison. We have this thing on the same level that happened at HISD, and the TEA is the only agency that can come in outside of the FBI and run it. So we got to just give the man a shot and hope for the best.
Uh, there are members in your district who feel disappointed in your decision to decide with this TEA's decision. So what do you have to say to your constituents, the people who look up to you and were hoping for another you know?
To my constituents, let me just say this. I thank you for supporting me when you voted for me. Many of you knew in District 6 that the TEA was coming. And many of you said your children are not in that district anyway. You were hoping for the best. Well, the many of you that I spoke with, that day has come and gone. Many of the people who voted for me knew this was coming. For those who are disappointed, please look at the whole picture and keep the children in mind. I'm an expert now that I've been there 16 months. Trust me, I know what goes on in the back room. I'm in executive session in which it's illegal to talk about. No, I'm on the right track. We're fractured. We're not a team of 9 yet. We're still arguing. We're still arguing over nonsense. We're harassing the superintendent during the meetings, the public meetings. You can see it for yourself. No, so unfortunately, I can't please everyone. I hope that the TEA can do the job as quickly as they can and hand it back. My term ends in 2026. And so, I offer no apologies for, supporting the TEA's decision, because I know the children have been suffering